I will never forget the first time I heard the term the hero's journey. I remember it instantly being lured into this understanding of this hero being called to have to make a choice whether to accept or reject an assignment. As I continued to watch for understanding of what this experience was like in the life of an ordinary person, I listened to the author Joseph Campbell, who describes this moment where the invitation, or better known as the call to adventure, some chose to accept it immediately and others chose to ignore it or put the decision off. But the refusal to the calls leads to something much more toxic and debilitating called atrophy. Well, the truth is that the situation in my life during that season, I was beginning to experience signs of atrophy, feeling stagnant and lifeless, ordinary, and I was just exasperated for breath. I knew that if I continued on this path, that one day I would begin to die creatively. And so living life below my potential, I just wasn't satisfied with that. So I would make excuses as to why I couldn't leave and why I was just miserable, and I'd justify it to others. I'd tell them the story and they could all hear it, but I couldn't. So what ultimately happens is I was scared of literally dying, of dying brokenhearted, unfulfilled, without having answered the question, what if? So I remember watching an episode of a popular TV host masterclass, and as the guest started to describe a season in her life when she was personally being called to her own hero's journey, the similarities were so identical, undeniable, that I could hardly stomach to watch the program. So I knew without a doubt that I had to make an immediate and drastic change. I could not go another day existing without a comprehensive exit strategy. So, the day I made up my mind that I would accept the call to adventure, I had no idea what it was, what I'd face, what I'd uncover about myself. I imagine that you must be feeling probably the same thing at this point. So here's the thing. You can trust that if God was calling you to something higher, just like me, I could trust that you would want to know what it is and not miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. What I know this for certain is that his plans for me are good and that he has my best interest at heart. So I would be lying if I told you that all this change happened at once. First is the mind. Then quietly I started to write it. Then a conversation. And as time passed, I bounced a few ideas off of friends here and there to see what would happen. And slowly it began to reveal itself.